Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of Ierusalem Anno Domini using the official solo mode that comes with the game. Not the campaign though, there's also a campaign for the solo mode. No, I'm doing a one-off session against Barabbas. I think overall the last episode was more or less bug-free. I believe I might have caught one or two things during editing. I think I got one confirmation in respect to these offering tokens in this, let's say, one-off kind of scenario. Barabbas is not scoring those, but there are basically, when you are going through the campaign, then yes, he at some point in time will start to also collect those points, making the game ultimately more difficult. So I think we should be pretty much ready to go. Again, Barabbas will be the starting player each round. So let's see what he does. And oh, this time he's not immediately scoring some points. That is interesting. I believe he's now bringing out new followers to the locations. I really have to go through the logic where he would start. But in this case, things are rather simple. He's placing one into the desert, one at the mountain. Again, he does that basically 2 times, and he would displace me if there wouldn't be enough space for him where he wanted to be. And this is something that is also a thing in a multiplayer game as well. On top of this, he's reseating one of the neutral followers at the Last Supper. We are going from this direction, starting from the top row. I think he's going for this one, looking for the next free slot in the same row. And in this case, again, he is only quote-unquote scoring 2 points for that. Again, creating a new group of like-colored followers, which definitely works for me. Over to me, and I think I'm going to play this market card into the rightmost column here. Again, I'm trying to go after these sets here. And yeah, first of all, we are triggering the market action. Again, I could now buy a Mahane card, or I could really sell my stuff here. And I think that's what I need to do. My storage is full, so I'm definitely going to sell 1 fish. Fish is 4 denarii. And I think I want 3 fish still in my storage for the next action to come. I still have this 1 bread here, but I honestly think getting 4 coins out of this sales action should be pretty much okay. So no, let's not sell or buy anything more here. Next, I'm going to send one of my followers to the Last Supper, and this time I have to take them from the mountain or the lake. I do have some bread still. Fish is definitely valuable. I don't know. Yeah, let's go for the mountain this time. Next time I'm sending a follower, I have to go from here unless I'm sending more followers out, which I may have to do relatively soon anyway. And I believe I want to send my follower here. So I need to spend 3 fish in total. 2 from here, so being next to Jesus, yeah, makes sense, right? And 1 more fish from here for this intersection. So that's definitely a costly participation at the Last Supper, but this allows us to listen to another parable. And I believe this time we are first here, actually. I take that Seminator. Yeah, we are scoring 1 point for that. Not particularly great, but I'm not complaining here. Unfortunately, I'm not getting any immediate reward, but for this card, we are still allowed to collect yet another denarii. Next, we could again visit one of the apostles, which we can't right now. We are close. We are very, very close, but we can buy a Mahane card for 2 denarii. Let's do that, I believe. Again, both of those aren't terrible, but I still think I want something from the top. Okay, that's nice. We can listen to another one of these parables, and we are getting a coin in the desert. That is huge. I totally take that. Okay, with the new Mahane card, we are at our hand limit. We don't have to discard down. Our storage is fine. So yes, I think we are ready to hand it over back to Barabbas. Let's see what he does. And again, he's scoring some points. In total, he has 2 at the desert and 2 at the mountain. Is that correct? That feels wrong. No, he's collecting 4 more points for this. Are you kidding me? And then he is sending one of his disciples coming again from the desert to the Last Supper. Again, we are looking for this direction here, so he's placing here. Normally he would ignore all those benefits, but unfortunately not so much for the parables. So he also just collected his second one. Nicely done, Barabbas, but I think that's already the end of his turn. Back to us, and I think it's time to score some points and visit an apostle. I think that might be huge. So we are placing this card onto this stack of cards. First of all, we are going for a desert action, which allows us to grab one stone. We only have one follower in the desert, kind of a pity, but nothing we can do about it. Then we will listen to another parable. We're already at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 followers at the Last Supper. Next level would be level 3, so we're totally grabbing this one, Thesaurio Abscondito, which will score us a point and will also give us a fish. Nicely done. Oh, only one fish. I'm cheating here, obviously. So we did that, we did that. We are still collecting a coin from this card. These Mahane cards are truly amazing. So I think we could afford another one. Let's see about that. And then it's finally time to meet an apostle. So we have the temple, we have the marketplace, and we have the desert. Only 3 cards in that column in the right order. So again, temple, marketplace, desert, exactly 3 cards, which now allows us to take any one of these apostles from this column. This could include Judas. Judas immediately gives us 5 coins. This is huge. And if we are bringing him out, he might be scoring negative points for the followers who are next to him. And getting the money is, I think, right now relatively important to me. So I think let's go for him. And I think we are placing Judas in here. We would be also scoring negative 4 points if this would be our end position. Our Barabbas would be scoring minus 5 points, but there are slight ways to move away. So let's see if we can somehow do that. But for now, that's fine. We are still allowed to get some points, some coins. Actually, we're getting 5 denarii. This is extremely huge. Next, we will look at the cards that we have played. 1, 2, and 3, or basically which cards we have used to trigger that visit, basically. Now we're checking the green circle here. So it's 4 plus 4 plus 3, 11 points we are scoring for that set. That is really not nothing. So we are finally making some progress. 1 and 10 up to 17 points. The problem now is this card is simply discarded onto our discard pile. The Mahane cards, unfortunately, they are returned to their respective deck and they go to the bottom of the Mahane deck, unfortunately. So you can, that's what I said, you can basically use them once for directions, then you might be using them to trigger the visit, and then you have to get rid of those. That's kind of a bummer. Anyway, I still think it was worth it. We can still spend some coins, and I think that's what I'm going to do to buy one of these Mahane cards. And again, I have desert cards in my hand. The temple might be intriguing now. The bonus here doesn't necessarily help me. At least I think. On the other hand, maybe I could in fact trigger something, and maybe let's do that. Let's go for this temple card here. Again, a new card is immediately revealed. Okay, that's basically, no, it's not the same card actually. This one comes with actual victory points, but we get to there. Maybe I'm going to play this card relatively soon actually. I think I can trigger another scoring. Let's see. Back to Barabbas, and again he's sending some followers to the desert and the mountain. He also has to adhere to the maximum, so the maximum is 3. So let's place them here, but I think it's 1 and 1, as if I understood this correctly. So yeah, for him it's definitely good. And then he is sending another follower, and I think this time he has to take it from the mountain here, so basically this icon, and here he's sending this follower into this row. Okay, I like that. I quite like that because he placed him. I think it was a good idea actually, placing Judas to one basically corner location of that table, because I know he's coming from either of those sides. I could have placed Judas in here maybe. Maybe this would have been even the better deal, but okay. Not complaining here. I take it the thing is, yes, we are moving the Sanhedrin marker one space up, but so far nothing else is triggering. Back to us. Let's do another temple action. I believe we're placing this card in here. It doesn't matter where we place it, because again, I will explain this to you. First of all, we are allowed to send followers into basically the wild. We have good amount of money, so I'm definitely sending 2 fellas to the desert. Again, maximum is 3 here. And this costs us 2. I'm really thinking about sending another fellow in here, really optimizing our thing. This would cost us 4 in total. And I think I want to do that. So we are spending our 5, which we have risk gotten from Judas. We're getting 1 back. And I think that's okay. This sets up in a good way to whatever, move them to the Last Supper or so. Next, we will simply score 3 points. So yes, we are tied with him at 20 points. Nicely done. And this symbol here basically tells us that we are now allowed to pick up all the cards in our display and bring them out in any order we see fit. And I think I should be able to do something fancy. So we are doing this. We are bringing out the lake, and I think on the bottom we need the mountain. This one doesn't really matter. We are leaving it here. But now again, we have the market, we have the lake, we have the mountain. Market, lake, mountain. We are taking San Andreas and placing him at the Last Supper. So he might be bringing us 4 points at the end of the game. The bonus of San Andreas is we are now allowed to, basically we are getting a free invite to the Last Supper, which means we can take one of our followers from the desert. We have 3 at the desert, and place him anywhere here at the Last Supper without the need to spend any resources whatsoever. And I think I want to be close to Jesus this time. Let's take a green fella now and place him here. There are no rewards anyway on this space, so this follower will join us. We might be able to leverage him, but so far I think I'm using these Mahane cards, and they typically don't do anything crazy with the neutral followers. But that was amazing. We are allowed to grab one of those. Oh, I forgot that actually. Last time I sent someone in here, and I think, let me correct that. I will certainly take one of those. Yes. We want those offering tokens. Okay, that was definitely not too shabby, but we will also score some points this time. Not quite as much actually, only 4 points in total. The 33 AD card also goes to the bottom of the respective deck here. These cards will go onto our discard pile, but again, we will score 4 more points. Hooray! We are still allowed to buy a Mahane card, and I think I'm going to do that. So we are now down to 2 denarii, but that's still fine. Don't fancy again either of those right now. So again, I will go for the topmost card. And yeah, I mean, this could give us 4 points if we bring this to a set. So yeah, I think that's okay. Back to Barabbas. And again, he will score some points. In total, that's 3. Mountain and lake, yes. So he's definitely catching up with us. And then he will send one of his followers here to the Last Supper. Oh, again, he's moving the Sanhedrin mark. Okay, this time this is bad. This is really bad. I think he's also holding on to these as far as I can tell. But let's see what's happening here. I mean, these are all terrible, as we know. Oof, I think again we may have dodged the bullet. This is really interesting. So again, he's removing followers from the Last Supper in this section. Only neutral and followers of my color, of course. He will not touch the red ones. And if we are looking at things, this would be this one here. Wow, these are simply removed from the game. Okay, and then again, he's bringing out one of the orange fellas. Who do we have here? Jacobus, the younger, I guess. Has to go in here, I believe, if we follow that line. I think so. But right now, this really doesn't give us or them anything. Yeah, okay, but that was his action done, I believe. He's really not scoring a lot of points from those. Interesting. Okay, this might not be ideal, but I'm going to play the desert. Right now we have 2 followers at the desert, which means we are allowed to take 2 stone. Then we are also getting a bread. I think with this we should be able to do something. And then we are allowed to send one of our followers to the Last Supper. Again, I think I will go from the desert. And I believe I want to listen to another parable. So maybe... Oh, we don't have 2 fish. No, we don't. So maybe let's place this fella in here. So we need a fish and we need a bread. Fish bread. Indeed, that's okay. We are, I think let's grab one of these tokens before I forget again. And then, yeah, we are allowed to listen to a parable, which is already the 4th one. So we will score 1 point for that. I will do that off camera. And with 4, we're already at 10 points at the end of the game. That's not too shabby. We are not allowed to visit an apostle, but we can still buy a Mahane card. And by the way, the Mahane is, I think, a market in Jerusalem. So we are spending the 2. And this time I will go for this one because, again, being allowed to rearrange the cards can be huge. So let's definitely grab this card. We will reveal a new one instantly. And oh, that's a very tasty one as well. Oh, I wouldn't have complained about this one quite honestly, but okay, it is what it is. Back to Barabbas. So let's see. Again, he will score points for desert and the lake, and that's 3 points for him. So he's back in the lead at 26. Then he's sending 1 follower to the Last Supper, and he's moving the Sanhedrin marker. The follower has to come from the mountain. He will start up here. He will grab this fella and will place it here. This time he's ignoring the special bonus from that field because he doesn't need it. But then he is moving the Sanhedrin marker 1 space up. You can just these at the 1 more space, and then we will trigger the next judgment tile here. And usually these are terrible for us. Let's play this card here, and this is now an interesting one. First of all, we are allowed to take 2 fish from the lake. We have 2 followers there. So right now our storage is full. But again, we are not checking the capacity or the limits during our turn. This will be checked at the end of our turn. Next, we will be scoring 3 immediate points. So we are at 28. Now we are allowed to send one of our followers to basically out to the board for free. So that will basically free up the space we need for the fish. We don't want to discard down, and I think in this case, let's definitely send this follower back to the desert. And then I think up next we might be doing something. Yeah, we have to draw a card from our draw deck. Again, something that isn't happening too often. And again, these cards, yeah, for the solo and the 2-player cards, they typically then allow you to mess around with the neutral followers, which will then ultimately give us some points. So maybe that is something in the solo mode that you should be using your starting cards more frequently, because this allows, or they allow you to mess around with the neutral followers, giving you some points before Barabbas is able to remove them with the judgment tiles, right? But then again, he's also driving the game relatively quickly compared to a normal play. At least that's my feeling right now. So I don't know. Let's see. But I think this was our turn done. Back to Barabbas, and okay, again he's sending out more followers to the desert and the mountain. And again, I think it's 1 per location where he has the few. So right now that's those 2. So yeah, he's really speeding the game because he's bringing out his followers like crazy, and we're typically not removing them. That's the problem. And then up next, he will first score the largest group of that color. And this is what I had to check as setup. There is a setup instruction in respect to those neutral followers. So you see that here. So it's white and black. And I think white were indeed the green ones, the green neutral. So we are scoring the largest group of green. And again, we dodged that bullet, which means the largest group is 1. So he's scoring only 1 point. The problem is he's again moving the Sanhedrin marker 1 space further, again triggering another one of those. Again, I think we dodged the bullet, but ultimately, I see that now. Yeah, I don't really know all of those tokens, and I think there are more available. So there are more than 6 of these neutral or 1 to solo player judgment tiles in the game. So knowing those to say, okay, what can happen is really key. So I know what was already drawn, and I'm now relatively certain that those locations are rather safe for me to go to. All the others, still terrible stuff could happen. And again, if I'm looking over here, I'm not too happy with what I'm seeing. So if this would have been this box, I would be losing a lot of points. Would be okay for this fella here. And again, I can continue to bring them out, but bringing them out really costs us a lot of resources, actions. I mean, you get the idea. So yeah, these judgment tiles in the solo game, they are truly brutal. But anyway, I think only these fellas are all leaving the Last Supper. No, I think this fella too, actually. Yeah, all the neutral ones from that corner, indeed. Yes, and then we are bringing out, who do we have here? Jacobus the Older, and bringing him in here, I believe. Yes, exactly. Okay, this was this card. This was this Sanhedrin mark. I mean, there are still a lot more steps to take. Not sure how many of these cards have that symbol on them, quite honestly. I really don't know. Okay, back to me. And whatever I do, I believe I need to spend some resources now. But first of all, we want to take more resources, as strange as it sounds. So we are going to play that mountain. And I think because we have this card, it doesn't, again, matter at all where we're going to place this card. So we're placing it here. We are taking a mountain action. We have 2 followers at the mountain. We are taking 2 bread. Our storage area is really full, but we will deal with that in a second. Right now, actually. So we are sending 1 fella to the Last Supper. I think I will take 1 from the desert again. And quite honestly, I don't know how secure the front rows are, but I will risk it anyway. So I will spend 2 bread for this row. And I will spend 2 fish for this column here. So let's go with this. And if this row will now be drawn from one of these judgment tiles, I will really, this will be terrible. So I grab this fella here. These things are gone. I guess we are. Yeah, let's go for another one of those. That is fine. Okay, if these fellas are getting sent back, we are in a tough spot. But okay. It is what it is. We are not getting any immediate stuff in here, but we are still allowed to visit the market. And I think we're going to sell the stone and the bread. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know why, but that's 5 coins. We need some space. And we are collecting some money. We are not visiting the apostle or any apostle. We could buy a Mahane card. And I think I'm not going to, because I think I'm relatively happy actually. So no, we are drawing a card from the deck. Okay, that's one that's quite interesting. Yes, we can go to the market. We will be allowed to draw a free Mahane card, but yeah, if we play that card, we also have to bump up the Sanhedrin marker. And again, this is a reward which we can't choose to ignore, unfortunately. But okay, I don't have to play it right now. Okay, let's do one more round this video. And okay, again, we dodged the bullet. He's scoring 2 points for the 2 resources we have in our storage area. So he's at 29. The next thing is, oh, I think again, he shoot his own foot actually. So now he's scoring the black neutral followers, which in this case are the yellow ones. So the largest group is 2. So he's scoring 2 points for those. Not nothing, of course. The main problem is, yes, again, he will move the Sanhedrin marker 1 space up. So yeah, he's really speeding through the game, quite honestly. Not sure if I like that. Okay, I thought it was time to play the temple card, but I think we need a market card before we do anything else, right? Maybe we are going for this one. or this one, but then we know what's coming in respect to the Sanhedrin marker, and I really quite like that actually. Let's do that. Let's do that. We are playing this card in here. Again, we are playing the market card. I will spend now 1 coin, so we are taking 4 back to buy a Mahane card, and this one is not so great anymore actually, because this action will be more or less lost. No, I will go for the topmost card. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's take that. But that was our market action done. Then we are drawing another Mahane card, so I will go for the topmost card again. Yes, I like that too actually. We have to discard down at the end of our turn, but I think that is all right. We have to move the Sanhedrin marker now. That's kind of a bummer, because again, it speeds up the game. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more steps actually. And oof, gosh. This is getting dangerous. So this time he is cleaning out the back row in here. Again, those followers are gone. And we are bringing out, who do we have here? Thaddeus. I'm pretty sure they have all different names in the English language, so sorry for that. And Thaddeus will go also this direction over here. I think we can now really start bringing out new followers into this section over here, because I'm relatively certain that at least this section here should be more or less okay. This could still go, I believe, right? No, so far there was, I think the front row would be really bad. I'm pretty sure Jesus wouldn't let happen, right? But now we are also out of these orange folks, actually, the orange apostles. So this row is gone, which means we can still score the points for the sets, by the way, but we can no longer visit the corresponding apostle. So at least point-wise, you're still not lost. But it's 2 more of those pesky judgment tiles here. But I think that was our turn done. And I also think now you have really seen it all. Of course, final scoring is something that I might be missing out, but I already have explained that to you. So if this would be the end state, this apostle here would give me 4 points. This is a neutral character, doesn't give me anything, but would be scoring 3 points, 2 points here. So for this apostle, I would be scoring 6 points in total here. Next to Judas, Barabbas would be losing 5 points. I would be losing 4 points. He would be losing another 3 points, and so on. That's the idea. And for Jesus at 7 points and also going down here respectively, we would be scoring our sets from our parables, and I would be scoring some more points from these offering tiles. So far I have 8, also nothing to sneeze at, so I think you get the idea. Anyway, I will leave the board set for another day or 2. Definitely let me know if you want me to finish the playthrough. I'm relatively certain with my next video I should be able to speed things through. But I really want to see some votes, some comments in order to do that. So just 1 or 2 won't cut it. I really want to see if you're interested or not. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And if I collect enough interest, then yes, I will absolutely go for a last video in this series here. I really enjoy the solo mode so far. I'm a big fan of these easy to follow kind of AI cards here, and this is really a job very, very well done. Keep in mind, this is only, let's say, the starting mode for the solo mode. You can go through a campaign which is getting more and more difficult, so you really have to improve. I think for the next level, let's put it like this, you have to win, and you also have to score at least, I think, 150 points. At some point in time, he will also be starting to score those offering tokens, and more stuff will get added or will make the game more difficult for you. I still have to discard a card. I think I will discard this card before I forget. So let's do that right off the bat. I'm not going to buy any more Mahane cards. I think this money should be back in the bank. And yeah, with that being said, let me know if you want me to continue or not. I definitely do have one or two other games in the pipeline which I would like to showcase, so don't get me wrong. But I'm also more than happy to really finish my playthrough here. But again, I really want to make it for you, so I really want to make sure you guys are interested. Again, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and until then, bye bye.